Hi, and welcome to my aerial video channel. We're at Indian Point Metro Park here in Perry, Ohio. I'm using both a hat cam and the cam off of my DJI Spark. We're currently got a hat cam view of a takeoff here from one of the picnic tables here at the park, and then we'll be switching over to the views coming back to me from the Spark. You can see I'm not very far away from the Spark, probably 50 or 60 feet, and it's already very difficult to see. So when you're flying the Spark, it's almost all based on viewing what you see on your viewing device, because at least for me it's so small that it's really hard to see. Right now we're flying upstream on the Paine Creek. This shoot I decided to do, I came to this point here where, and you'll see later on in the video, where Paine Creek joins into the Grand River. But right now we're just flying upstream here, and you can see footprints in the snow. So there's, when this, we're having a little bit of a melt off. This day when I shot this, it was close to 50 degrees, close to 10 degrees centigrade, and so we were having a little bit of a melt off, and so there's some openings. I imagine that in the past that this creek was entirely frozen over, so you're going to see a lot of footprints back and forth. You'll also see the Spark kind of moving back and forth and up and down. We're kind of in a valley here, surrounded by trees, and this big cliff that you see on the right hand side that's entirely made of shale, and therefore it was going in and out of GPS lock mode. So it was jumping into attitude mode, which, for those that don't know what attitude mode is, it's manual mode. It means you have to basically fly by whatever it is that you're seeing on the screen. So here's a big, tall, about 100-foot cliff, and it goes up to an observation deck, which you'll be able to see just barely through some trees. And last year, after I shot the Paine Falls shoot, I came down here and I walked through this Indian Point Park, and I was up there on that trail by that little stand that they have over there, and you can look out both on this side and look down. It's a pretty amazing sight from way up there to look down this cliff and see the Paine Creek running, at least during the summertime, spring, summer, fall. You'll be able to see it running. You don't see it running too much now, but you will see some running water later. But and then if you follow the path that they have up there, the pathways that they have up there, they go over to the other side where you get a view of the Grand River. So it was interesting when last year when I was shooting the Paine Falls in this area, and I did stop here and take a nice hike along the trails, and it was not a hike for a person that's not in good shape. There's a lot of up and downs, and I was glad when I got back to my car, let's put it that way. So we're dropping back down here after ascending to about 100 feet up there, just to check out the local trails. They call this Indian Point because this area was inhabited by Indians back in probably the 16th, 17th century, maybe as late as the 18th century. And we're dropping down here. You can see the water running. There are open areas in the Paine Creek here where you see water running, and we're just going to sort of like follow this down. And what we're going to try and do by watching my little Galaxy Note 4 cell phone, that's what I'm using for a viewing device. I'm watching the video in that while I'm flying it, because I can't see the Spark. It's so small. you can't even hear it much beyond 100 feet. So you really have to put a lot of faith in your link, your FPV, first-person video link. So we're flying along here, and you're going to see we come pretty close to some trees and branches and limbs, and the only thing I can say, like this one that's coming up here on the left-hand side, is that the objects that you see in the video are probably a little bit further away than what they appear in the video. It appears that I'm flying right up on this, and I did see this in my screen, and that's why I sort of scooted over here a little bit to the right, and we're rounding a bend. I'm probably I don't know, somewhere between 500 and 1,000 feet away from where I took off at this point. We're just following this running water of the Paine Creek, and around a bend up ahead is the Grand River, which is really running fast. As I said, there was a warm up with a lot of snow melt and ice melt, and we'll probably go out in a few weeks, maybe as spring approaches, when the Grand River crests. We did that last year, and it becomes like a raging torrent when it reaches flood stage. Matter of fact, even have to close down some roads and bridges that it washes over. But we're coming up here, and you can see the Grand River right ahead of us. This is the confluence right here, the mouth of Paine Creek running into the Grand River. And then if you look really closely on the Grand River ahead of us, you'll see some white patches, and that's fast running water. The water's running pretty quick in the Grand River there, and we're going to turn around here. I didn't want to push my luck. If I had my Phantom 3 out here, I probably would have gone out and towards the center of the Grand River there and got some video, but I don't quite have the confidence in this little Spark that I have in the Phantom 3. So we turned it around here and decided we got the shot that we wanted, and we're going to call it good and start heading back. Again, you can see footprints there in the ice or snow or whatever it is. So, apparently at one time people, when this was all frozen over, were crossing over and walking along and just exploring. And it's probably a nice walk for people in the winter time. And we're coming up in a while. You see a whole lot more tracks, but on the right hand of the screen in the distance are some picnic benches, and of course that's where we took off from, and we'll be heading back there. We'll be switching over to the hat cam when we get to landing, and just to give you a sense for that. But anyways, just thought I'd share this little shoot with you of Paine Creek, Grand River, Indian Point. There was me standing in the shade, and this is still the Spark, and then we'll switch over to the hat cam. Thanks for stopping by and watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little something different, but really wanted to get a video out here since kind of we're getting a little bit of cabin fever. And there you see the Spark flying past me and getting ready to land on the picnic table. Thanks again for stopping by and watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you're so inclined, and come back again. Look back through some of my videos, and you'll see other videos that are similar to this. Thanks for stopping by.